What if I told you that a single ingredient could be worth more than gold? Not a jewel, not a rare metal, but a humble-looking fungus found in the soil beneath ancient oak trees. White truffles, nature's most elusive and intoxicating treasure. They grow only in select regions of Italy and France, hidden underground, waiting to be discovered by specially trained dogs with noses worth their weight in diamonds. Unlike their black truffle cousins, white truffles can't be cultivated. No farm can produce them. They are a gift of nature, appearing only for a short season each year and disappearing just as quickly. The aroma is unlike anything else on earth, rich, earthy, intoxicating, with a sharpness that dances between garlic and musk. The flavor, imagine the taste of a forest after the rain, infused with the memory of centuries-old soil and the whisper of wild herbs. And here's the most extraordinary part. White truffles are never cooked. Their magic lies in their raw purity. They are shaved, paper-thin, over pasta, risotto, or eggs, releasing their fragrance in a way that turns a simple dish into a royal feast. For centuries, they have been the secret indulgence of kings, aristocrats, and, in modern times, billionaires. In the grand dining halls of Renaissance Italy, white truffles were served as a statement of power and prestige, a way to show guests that no cost was too great for pleasure. Even today, auctions see single truffles selling for tens of thousands of dollars, with buyers flying in from across the globe to secure their prize. The rarity comes from a delicate balance of climate, soil, and nature's mystery. A single shift in rainfall, a change in temperature, and the harvest can vanish. That fragility is why chefs guard their truffle menus like crown jewels, and why connoisseurs are willing to pay thousands for just a few fleeting bites. This is not just food. This is an experience, one that disappears the moment the season ends, leaving behind only the memory of its aroma and the longing for next year's hunt. And perhaps that's why the value of white truffles has endured for centuries, because they are not only rare, but ephemeral. A reminder that some of life's greatest luxuries are not meant to last forever. So the next time you hear of someone paying thousands for a plate of pasta topped with thin, white curls of truffle, know this: they're not just paying for the dish. They're paying for a moment in time, one that will never be exactly the same again. What if I told you there is a treasure that cannot be mined, minted, or manufactured? A treasure that grows silently in the darkness, hidden in the roots of ancient trees, waiting for only the most skilled and patient to find it. It has no glitter, no shine, yet it commands a higher price per ounce than the world's purest gold. This is the white truffle, a culinary jewel whose story spans thousands of years, crossing empires, cultures, and fortunes. Long before Michelin-starred chefs competed for them, truffles were the stuff of legend. The Sumerians and Babylonians recorded them as mystical foods in early tablets. The ancient Greeks believed they were born when lightning bolts struck the soil during storms, fusing the elements of heaven and earth. In Roman times, truffles were considered aphrodisiacs. The philosopher Pliny the Elder called them the marvel of nature, while the poet Juvenal linked them to indulgence and seduction. Roman generals carried them as gifts to allies, cementing political alliances through the gift of flavor. During the Renaissance, white truffles became status symbols at the courts of France and Italy. Caterina de' Medici brought them to the French royal court in the 1500s, and from there, their legend spread. By the 18th century, they were a favorite at the tables of Louis XV, Napoleon Bonaparte, and Tsar Alexander I of Russia. White truffles were not merely food. They were declarations of power, refinement, and connection to the most exclusive circles of society. Even the process of finding them is an art form. In the early days, hunters used pigs whose natural instincts could detect the scent from 100 meters away. But there was one problem. Pigs loved to eat them, often swallowing the prize before it could be retrieved. This led to the rise of the truffle dog, a loyal, trainable partner who works in silence, guided by the hunter's whisper and the scent of buried treasure. Today, the bond between a truffle hunter and his dog is almost sacred, passed from generation to generation. Unlike most delicacies, white truffles cannot be cultivated. Modern agriculture has tried and failed. They grow only in symbiosis with the roots of specific trees, oak, hazelnut, poplar, in soils with the perfect balance of minerals, moisture, and climate. A single drought, a harsh frost, or a change in the surrounding ecosystem can wipe out an entire year's harvest. Their aroma is intoxicating and unmistakable, earthy, garlicky, with subtle hints of honey and hay. It is volatile and fleeting. Once unearthed, a truffle begins losing its magic within days. This impermanence only adds to its allure. To eat a white truffle is to experience something unrepeatable. No two are exactly the same, and no harvest will taste like the last. The market for white truffles is as secretive as it is competitive. In Alba, Italy, an annual truffle auction attracts bidders from New York, Dubai, Hong Kong, and beyond. Prices soar into the tens and even hundreds of thousands of dollars. In 2010, a single specimen weighing just over 1 kilogram sold for $330,000. Yet, despite the money, the truffle's journey is humble. Carried in cloth-lined baskets, weighed in small-town markets, sometimes sold in discreet handshake-only deals under the cover of night. White truffles have been served in some of history's most extravagant meals. In 2005, a luxury dinner in Hong Kong featured white truffle shavings over nearly every course, with wines older than the guests themselves. The bill, over $30,000 a head. Perhaps the most curious fact is that for centuries, the white truffle was considered dangerous by some. In the Middle Ages, its intoxicating aroma led to superstitions that it could cloud the mind or inspire sinful thoughts. It was banned from certain religious tables only to later be embraced by the same elite who once feared it. Today, the white truffle is the epitome of ephemeral luxury. You cannot keep it, store it, or mass-produce it. You can only savor it in the fleeting moment it graces your plate. And so, the white truffle's mystique endures. Not because it's rare in number alone, but because it embodies a philosophy that the wealthiest, most discerning diners understand well. True luxury is fleeting. You cannot box it, duplicate it, or hold on to it forever. In a world overflowing with mass production, the white truffle remains defiantly untamed, growing only where nature allows. It's offered up once a year to those who can both afford it and appreciate it. Every bite is a connection, to ancient forests, to centuries-old traditions, to the hands of hunters who rise before dawn with their dogs, and to a lineage of kings, queens, and visionaries who understood that the most valuable things in life cannot be owned, only experienced. And maybe that is its real power. Not the price per ounce, not the auction drama, not even the heady aroma rising from a plate of freshly shaved truffle, but the simple truth that in those few moments, as the flavor unfolds and fades, you hold in your senses something that will never happen exactly the same way again. It's a memory worth more than gold. And maybe that is why it remains worth more than gold, because it is not just a flavor, but a story, a history, and a reminder that some treasures are valuable precisely because they cannot last.